Have you ever gotten an objection and you simply were like, hey, how do I actually overcome this? How do I actually I've never got hit with this objection. And you think that it's a one-off circumstance or it's a one-off situation that you didn't overcome the objection and you lost the sale. Maybe before this video or earlier this week, you got hammered with an objection and a stall or whatever it was, and you weren't able to close the deal and help the family. Well, in this video, I'm going to share with you just a very basic breakdown on how to overcome objections, because a lot of agents that I coach, that I help and mentor, and agents inside of my agency, right? We just crossed over $100,000 for the month so far. And one of the biggest things that I'm training them on and helping them with is overcoming objections, but more importantly, it's a broad thing, right? Oh, you need to overcome objections. But the reality is a lot of them aren't doing this one thing that is probably plaguing you as well. Okay, so if we haven't met, my name is Johnny Nitafan. I've sold over $500,000 of life insurance premium my very first year inside the business, and I sell completely over the phone. That's unlocked a lot of freedom for me personally. And once I understood this concept of overcoming objections and understanding that I'm probably going to get objections, I was able to actually close at a lot higher rate. If I'm able to get somebody and talk with them for 10, 15, 20 minutes and get them to presenting numbers, my closing rate is north of 1 of 2, right? So what I want to share with you is how to overcome objections. When you think about it, I need to talk to my kids, I need to talk to my wife. It's very simple, okay? What you're going to say is, hey, not a problem. Totally understand. Most of my clients want to do the same thing or something along those lines, right? What I'll say is, yeah, that's not a problem at all. Before you do go and think about it, right? Before you do go and talk to your spouse, before you do go and talk to your kids, before you do go and think about it, whatever, look over your finances, you want to get confirmation and tie down that this is the product for them right now and they actually believe in it, right? I want to get a tie down. I want to get confirmation that they actually believe in this. So yeah, that's not a problem. Before you do go and think about it, can I ask, in your own opinion, do you actually feel like this can help you and can give you the peace of mind that you've been looking for, or how do you feel? Because that's the most important part to me, right? Or if they say, oh, it's too expensive or money, whatever it is, right? Or it's a logistical thing, go after the tie down and confirmation, okay? So isolate the variable of exactly what is coming up for them. That's made, like what they're actually thinking through, because whatever they say, there's really 3 objections and buckets that's going to come down into. It's going to be a think about it or partner, right? And they're going to shift the power to somebody else, or it's going to be time, right? Money. There's 2 types of money, right? There's going to be a money, hey, I can't afford it right now. And it's more logistical, or it's money like an actual, hey, this is a little too expensive, and that's where you price shop a little bit. So let's just talk, okay, you isolate, okay, yeah, that's not a problem. Before you do go and think about it, before you do go and talk to your spouse, before you do go and talk to your kids, can I ask, in your own opinion, can I ask you, Miss Betty, in your own opinion, do you actually feel like this can help you? And can give you the peace of mind that you've been looking for, or how do you feel? Because that's the most important part to me, right? You like, I'll visibly, like, even though I'm selling over the phone, I'll be like, that's the most important part to me. And they'll be like, yeah, okay. And why do you, like, they'll be like, yeah, but, or you want to interrupt if they do that. But if they, once they say yes, you say, awesome. And why do you feel like it can? Like, what specifically about what I shared with you makes you, like, gives you that certainty that this can give you that peace of mind that you've been looking for? And then have them explain it, right? Just because they say you as the agent, I've enjoyed you, I've liked you, they need to say some of the features and start selling themselves on that, right? So start sharing. You want them to say in their own words why they like the policy. Maybe it's day 1 coverage. Maybe it's because it's a high face amount. Maybe whatever it is, right? Maybe it's because it's a lower premium than what they currently have. Whatever it is, right? Have them start saying a few things. It's like, awesome. So can I ask, is it a case for you, right? So if you get the confirmation, awesome. So I just want to make sure 100% you enjoy this policy, like this policy you actually feel like will help you and your family. Yes? Okay, great. So now that you got the confirmation, right, you go away from the objection. Don't try to combat and arm twist, pull out a little bit, like lean out a little bit. And then you say, so you get the confirmation. Now so you got the tie down, right? You got the double tie down. So you got the tie down, yes. Okay, now you got the why. Now you're gonna go into, okay, attacking. Is it a money thing? Is it a, like, what's coming up? Is it a logistics thing? You can't pay today, but you can pay on the 3rd when you get your benefits. Is it way too expensive? Actually, like, what's actually coming up? So solidify, and then you go into logistics and pricing or whatever it is. So then I'll be like, okay, not a problem. Is it a case that the $160 a month that you picked is a little too high, or is it a case that you just can't pay for it today? Like, what's really coming up for you? Okay, oh, I can't pay for it today. Okay, can I ask, like, if we're on the 3rd, you get paid on the 3rd. I know today's the 28th. On the 3rd, when your check comes, is this something you can 100% afford, or do we need to come down a little bit on the pricing? And then you can come down, or you go straight, or it's like, okay, cool, you solved it with logistics, great, but don't just push for, okay, not a problem, let's just see if we can get you approved so you can talk to your kids. Like, that's not a way to increase your placement. You actually want to sell them, and you want to actually close the deal, right? The reason why this is so important is because you just push for the approval, because transparently, like, you and I both, it's like it's an ego sale, right? You want to post on the leaderboards, you want to post into your Slack chats, you want to post into whatever chat that you're in, right? Or be honored on the Zoom calls, but like, that's not the way that you make sure that you have long-term success in this business. You want a high placement rate. And so I had somebody yesterday that was insufficient funds, right? And she's like, she called me. She's like, hey, Johnny, I think I gave you the wrong account number because there's 2 different ones. It was so confusing. She sent me a screenshot of her, of it. And she said, hey, it's actually this one. It was highlighted. And so we called in, made sure that placed, but that only comes from them actually knowing and feeling and understanding and having the understanding that they're buying a policy today. And so if you really understand how to objection handle, you're able to understand and isolate what's the actual objection here. Is it too much? Typically it is. Some people just go straight into money, which you definitely can, but it could be a money thing. It could be a logistics thing, or maybe they're just fearful, right? Maybe they just are nervous or scared or whatever's coming up, or maybe they just don't trust you. You need to build some of that trust. But that's really how I overcome the objections, is get the confirmation and tie down, and then go into exactly what objection is coming up. So if it's a think about it, okay, not a problem. So you get the confirmation, you get the double tie down, then it's like, okay, not a problem. Can I ask for you, Miss Betty, I guess what's really coming up for you that makes you want to put a pause on actually getting your family protected? Like, is it a money thing? Like, is it too expensive? Or what's really coming up? Okay, if you understand and master this and are able to get the confirmation and the tie down, and then you go for the objection and find the real objection, they're going to tell you, but don't try to just hammer it right away unless you 100% know. Even when I know what it is, I have a good sense and feeling, I'm still going to get the tie down, because it eases the sales pressure a lot. And then they really start opening up to you, and they feel really good and confident, and they'll be vulnerable, right? Hey, I had a policy years ago, couldn't keep up the payments. And so I just want to make sure that this policy stays in force when that time does come. And you want to agree, and you want to make them feel good, and you want to help them release a dopamine when that happens, and then go into whatever it is. And then you go, okay, awesome. Go ahead and circle the 57 a month, or 147 a month, or 350 a month policy. Go ahead and circle that one. Okay, great. What would be the best address to mail this policy out to? And boom, now you're into the application. So make sure that you transition really well, but this is how just the basic framework and understanding on how you overcome objections. If you love this video, subscribe to the channel right now. I'm going to be posting more videos just like these, raw, unedited, and just value for you guys. All right, see you in the next one. Peace.